Excellent. Okay, so we are in record mode, and I want to welcome each and every one of you here to our Start Rebels Zoom Room virtual meeting. This is our weekly training call for Isagenix associates, ideally in the start age, 18 to 35, but some of us are a little past that. And, you know, the Start grads, we're here, supporting our peeps just a little. But super stoked that you guys are making time out to come out and join us on a Sunday night. We typically work towards about a 40-minute, 45-minute call, but it's usually pretty action-packed, lots of great information. And the purpose of this call is to let you guys get to know one another, hear some different people's stories, learn about what events are going on and where they're happening, to work on some belief-building tips as well as some skills building, and to talk a little bit about the products. So the idea is that we all have so much to offer and to share. And we've got, you know, different stages of the game for people who have been around little bits of time or longer than that. But the reality is that we are all leaders in what we do, and we all have something amazing to offer to support one another, because we are the one team mentality. And we do want to really be able to support our people, you know, everywhere across Canada wide and beyond. So just to do the disclaimer, if someone is listening to this in record mode or jumping on and you're not really sure what Isagenix is a health and wellness company. And we focus on nutritional cleansing and cellular replenishment. So we make no claims to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any illness or disease. We offer nutritional products that support people with weight loss, weight management, energy and performance, healthy aging. As well, we have a financial opportunity. And so some of the testimonials and stories you may hear, we make no claims, again, as to how much, how fast, with regards to the financial or the, you know, body transformation. It really is, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So on that note, we have got an exciting call. We've got two super awesome guys here today to share some great information. Another one just joined us, hey Jace. And we are going to be moving right into it here. So what I'd love you to do is make sure you've got your pen and paper handy. Okay, we're going to get right into it with our first speaker here. And he is going to, I'm going to just open up my other window here for a second. So Dane, and I am going to try my best on your name. Ianicello?
Wow. That was pretty perfect.
Wow! Okay. So Dane, I've had the opportunity to see Dane on some different calls and spend some time chatting with him briefly at events. But I just love what he contributes and what his girlfriend Vanessa has contributed as well. So Dane is joining us. He is 26 years old. He lives in Brampton, Ontario. He is a registered nurse. Give it up for that, you guys. Whoop, whoop. Helping our people. And he started Isagenix in April of 2013. And the reason he's so super stoked about it is obviously he's really passionate about helping people from a health perspective, and that's clearly what we're all about. And he loves that it's a company that's looking to make a global impact. You guys agree that we are really seriously on the move to make a global impact, right? Awesome. And he really does love that he can help people, you know, achieve their health goals as well as wellness goals, because it's not just about, you know, nutrition. It's not just about fitness. It's about all body, mind, and spirit. And he also is really happy about being able to help people with a financial perspective, because that truly is what puts a lot of stress on people and really greatly affects people's health. And what I love about Dane is that he's just always willing to step up. We've had a few different conversations. We've changed our dates a little bit, I think, with getting together. But he's here when he can be here, and he is just super stoked to be able to share with you guys information tonight about the bedtime belly buster. So he's going to do a little testimonial for us on his own story, and then do a share with us about what the bedtime belly buster is all about. So Dane, I'm going to pass it over to you, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tina, for hosting these calls. It really just is awesome that you're getting everybody together so we can share our ideas. So on that note, I'm just going to share a little bit about myself. So I started Isagenix back in 2013, but I don't really think I got super on the products until maybe about a year and a half ago. And at this point in my life, I was probably at my heaviest. I would probably say I was around 240, 250 pounds, which is, for my height, I'm not tall. So it really showed. And I was just very unmotivated in my life. I wasn't working, and I just didn't really have any sort of passion. And that all changed when I did two big things in my life. I moved out to Alberta, and I decided to take my health very seriously. And over the course of a few months, I was able to take my life back into control. When I came back, everyone was absolutely shocked at the results that I got, because I probably dropped close to 50 pounds or so, and I've been managing to keep that off. So that has been an amazing accomplishment. And really, I think the Isagenix products that have been helping me to maintain and, you know, take my workouts and my health to a whole new level. So on that note, speaking of the amazing products, I'm going to be talking about the Bedtime Belly Buster. Now, for those that do not know what that is, it is a fairly new concept, new-ish, I would say, that's been taking over the Isagenix world by storm. So the Bedtime Belly Buster, for those that have seen the pictures of people with bloated bellies before bed and then skinny bellies after when they wake up, the Bedtime Belly Buster consists of a few Isagenix products. The first one and the most important one being the Isa Pro, not to be confused with Isoline Pro. It is the Isa Pro. Another important ingredient has been either the Isa Fruits or the Isa Greens. And one of my personal favorites, the Sleep Support Spray. Now, all of these have been combined into this, well, they're not combined, but use them all at the same time. They're each individual products. Some people might get Greens in their auto ship or Isopro in their auto ship. So these three products, or however many you want to add into this one, are very efficient at working together. The whey protein from the Isa Pro, as we know, whey protein boosts metabolism and helps improve your post-exercise recovery. And taking these at night allows your body to rapidly digest these products without having to worry about using that energy for the day. So you're kind of shedding weight while you sleep, which is pretty much why it's been such a huge hit with everybody. For those that use the sleep spray, the sleep spray has been known to promote better sleep. And for those that have had issues with sleep in the past, it can affect things like your weight loss, levels of stress, and all those things contribute to people holding on to weight. So having those two products added together right before you go to bed has really been shown, and proof is in the pudding from people's pictures before and after that it really works. Now, the thing about this Bedtime Belly Buster is that it's not an all-encompassing in one package. You kind of have to go to your auto ship and add each product individually. So just a quick rundown of some of the costs for those products. The Isa Pro on its own is $43.95 and it's 27 BV, and this prices are in Canadian. The sleep spray is actually quite costly, or cost effective, I should say. It's $13.95 and it's 9 BV. And if you want to order Isa Greens or Isa Fruit to add to that, you can get them in the canister, which is 36 Canadian, or you can get them in the sticks. You'll probably see the sticks at like events and stuff like that, and those are $39. So yeah, the Bedtime Belly Buster, it's an amazing little neat trick that some of our own associates developed, and not to be used on cleanse days. You don't want to use those on cleanse days. They're strictly for shake days. And yeah, so that's pretty much a quick wrap up of what the Bedtime Belly Buster is. So I guess I'll pass it back to Tina, and we'll see where we go from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Dane. I remember when I first heard about this, I was like, as if. I can't even believe that could really work. And then when you actually do it, you feel amazing. So can you guys throw out some, so it looks like Jason said, I love doing the Bedtime Belly Buster on days when I've done heavy resistance training. Yeah. So if you guys want to open up your mics and share any of your feedback from when you've done the Bedtime Belly Buster, what have you noticed? The extra protein before bed is definitely helpful. And I just love the way I sleep like a log. Like I've just noticed my sleep has so drastically improved anyways. It's just a deeper REM sleep and you don't require as much. And so our body does need the protein, right? Like you said.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, if I take like 3 sprays of that sleep spray, I'm like out for a solid 10 hours at least.
Yeah, and that's where you can gauge it for what works best for you, right? So that's fantastic. That's awesome. All right, Dane, Fills me up if I'm hungry at night. Yeah, definitely. And we do, we are fasting through the night. So it is important sometimes for our bodies, especially with what our goals are. If we're plateauing, people are plateauing, this is a great way to help people bust a plateau. Excellent. Well, you guys, thank you, both of you. I feel like you both were helpful there sharing. Dane, thank you for this share. That's great information. And so if you guys have not tried the Bedtime Belly Buster, I would encourage you guys to give it a go, because then you can speak from experience as to, how helpful it was for you. And on that note, Dane's going to join us back here towards the end of the call, and he's going to do some belief building with us on authenticity. You guys ever have conversations with people sometimes and you just start to feel a little weird? Like you're trying not to be weird, but what you're saying, you feel a little weird. Like maybe you're just not really sure with how you're coming across. You want to get them information. You want to ask them more about who they are, what they're doing, but you're trying to maybe put yourself out there on Facebook or whatever, but you're not really being your authentic self. You guys ever have that? You ever experience that? So Dane's going to share some tips with us about, belief building and talking about authenticity at the end of the call here. But before that, we're going to hear, we had an amazing event in Toronto yesterday called Max Out Training with Susan Sly, and Scott Aaron came up over from Philadelphia and shared some incredible information with us as well. So I threw Trevor under the bus today. I said, Trev, do you think you can combine all that in like a 10 or 15, maybe 20-minute conversation to give the goods to our peeps on the call here tonight? Because there were so many amazing nuggets. How many of you have felt a little bit stuck? Maybe you've been working to share Isagenix with people for a while and you're maybe just feeling a little bit stuck. Yeah, and how many of you have been maybe building your business for a little while, and you get into a place where things are moving really well with momentum, but then all of a sudden it feels like there's a halt, and it's like someone has there's kind of a roadblock in front. So wherever you're at, it doesn't matter if you've been here 5 minutes or 5 years. Trevor's going to share some information with us. It's really going to help us move forward. So just to give him a proper introduction. Trevor is part of the START grad group like myself. He's 41 years old. He's from Peterborough, Ontario. He's 2-star Golden Circle, so that means he's earning a multiple 5-figure-a-year income with Isagenix right now, getting close to that 6-figure income if he's not there yet. And he started Isagenix in 2011, but didn't see the picture for about a year. Trevor, I met you and Jen on like a shuttle one time at one of the big events. That's when we first met. Isn't that right?
I think so, yeah. And if anybody has seen Tina's profile photos and like just her energy, it just kind of pulls you in. So yeah, we met you it was like a shuttle or something like that.
Yeah, we were on a shuttle heading to one of the big events. So that was awesome. So Trevor he's a police officer. He's in his 19th year as a police officer. Him and his gorgeous wife, Jen, have 3 kids, 8, 10, and 13. So busy family, right? But because of this opportunity and applying themselves with some consistency and consistent action, Jen has now been able to come home to the family full time. She was doing beautician work and, helping people feel a whole lot better about themselves on the outside. So this opportunity has really helped them change their lives. And they're very passionate about helping people. And what I love about Trevor, is something like I had said about Dane, but Trevor has also been instrumental, with the calls as far as promoting them. A lot of you on this call are here because Trevor has shared this with you and invited you. He stepped up in a pinch to offer some great tips, tools and insights. And, when we're building this business, like you hear all the time, be a product of the product, walk your talk, go to the events, get your people to the events, because that is what really builds belief. And if you ever speak to Trevor, even if it's for 5 minutes, you can feel the passion from him about how important Isagenix is for him and his family, and how he believes it's important for everyone to have the opportunity to say yes to it for their lives. So on that note, Trevor, I'm going to pass it over to you, my good friend, and I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tina. And like I say, she just kind of asked me today, and I'm like, how the heck am I going to get 9 hours of Susan Sly talking in here into 20 minutes? So I'm going to try my best. Her tips yesterday were absolutely phenomenal. She was there with Scott Aaron. There's lots of podcasts over the last 14 years of her building out an amazing team. And, many of us are part of this team. And again, for that one team mentality, we can all learn from each other. So it was just a great day. So as I was going through it, I was just kind of having like, how am I going to put this together and make it flow properly? So just bear with me. And like I say, watch for the YouTube link on this one as well. So if you're not, the first thing I want to say is do yourself a favor and get to events. Okay, that event yesterday was stellar. It was like, you know, they knocked it out of the park. People put a lot of time and energy into these, and it was just awesome. Scott flew up from Pennsylvania, I believe he's from, and just gave us some huge tips on social media and how to build through social media. And I've been kind of following Scott for quite a while now and listened to some podcasts of his. So if you're not in an area where you have events and you're sitting there thinking, oh man, like I wish I could have access to this stuff, like, you know, or just create one. You know, these events were started by people in the Toronto area, and they never gave up. They just kept pouring time and belief in them. They created their own little, groups, and the events kept getting bigger and bigger. So if you're in a remote area of Canada, just create your own event. If you build it, people will come. So if you're thinking like that this is important to you, you're going to find other people that this is important for. So just to jump right in, Susan's first started talking about 3 steps to a breakthrough, because yesterday was about that max out. Max out to us in this business means creating an income of like a yearly income of $780,000. I believe Tina went over the disclaimers, and just to touch on it again, you know, this is a network marketing company. We're not a flash in the pan company. We have a huge ability to change a lot of lives, and money is, you know, it's great, but it's what you can do with the money. So that's what this is about, the max out. That's just your first business center. Then you can re-enroll above yourself and start working on your second business center. So that's what that training was about, 3 steps to a breakthrough yesterday. First of all, she talked about changing our state. So for changing your state, I love what Dane was saying about the bedtime belly buster and the spray. She mentioned something that stuck out to me was getting some sleep 10 to 2 a.m., making sure that you're in bed by 10 p.m. so that you can, you know, be in your best state for when you wake up in the morning. If you have to get up at 4 a.m., don't be going to bed at like 1 a.m. and getting up at 4. It's not going to serve your body well. So get that required sleep that you need. Stop wasting time. They talked about wasting time on Facebook, Twitter, all the different things that come in and out. There's no BV in TV. So I'm not saying to, you know, stop watching movies with your family, but just be careful about scrolling, the timeless scrolling through Facebook, trying to look at all the different videos. They talked about like all those squirrel moments that we have. What's that costing your business? Changing your state with what are you listening to? So what are you putting inside between your 2 ears? What are you reading? What are you putting inside your mind? What books are you reading? You know, when you get up in the morning, what is it that you're listening to? Are you listening to motivational things? That's super important. They talked about get moving in the morning. So multiple times during the day, I think we burned off 1,500 or 1,800 calories. We were jumping around, and then we put ourselves in an optimal state. But, you know, get yourself moving in the morning to change maybe what issues you were having the night before. You know, put yourself back in that optimal state. If you have, I call it the law of the lid. You're going to read different books about that from John Maxwell. If you have what's called a success coma, try and break out of that success coma. You might have been raised in from a family that says, okay, you know, we're going to make 50,000. That's as much as we're going to make. And once you get to 50,000, you can sit back and chill. Or maybe it's 100,000 or 200,000 in this company. You can sit back and chill. So get out of the success coma and always be teaching. You know, Susan was up from Arizona. She lives in Arizona. She's Canadian, but lives in Arizona now. And she came up here. She's teaching us. She's giving us these amazing nuggets. So always be in that teaching mentality for everybody that's on this call. It's so important to take this information and to feed it back out. If you find a really cool link, take it and feed it back out to your team. It's going to grow your business. So she talked about what does it take to max out. So these are just some little tidbits. If you want, you can look at the YouTube video, or I can share this document with you. I was just typing away. I think most of us in the room took between 25 to 35 pages of notes. And I've got mine in like this little, yeah, exactly, tons, literally. There's Tina showing us hers. I think I got 35 pages of notes. Johnny was sitting beside me. He was about the same. And it was just like page after page of nuggets of gold. So Another one, get your people paid. So find out how you want to get your people paid. Doing three-way calls, that's going to get them paid. Be authentic. Persevere through the ups and the downs. There's going to be ups and downs, but we know in this business, if we keep doing those consistent daily actions, there's going to be more ups than downs. And that we look at different mutual funds over the different years they're growing, and generally they go up. That's the way that your business is going to grow. We've had ups and downs, but our business has always grown throughout the years. So just persevere through those times. Prepare yourself for the journey. She talked about don't be hot or cold. Don't be like hot and cold. Jump in with both feet. And if you are looking to go towards that multiple six-figure income, there's going to be things that you have to do to get there. And you want to be on fire. Doesn't mean that you can't have bad days, but to come back out of that, and don't set yourself up for failure to take a week off. You take a week off in a month because you're having a bad week. That's 25% of your business for that month. That's a big deal. So try to get back out of that funk. And, the good part is about these calls, they get to lift us up every Sunday. We get to surround ourselves with people. So just continue doing that. And those events, I find, we're high-fiving each other. Get yourself to as many events as possible. I love the quote. She talked about be willing to do today what others won't, so you can do tomorrow what others can't, or so you can travel to places tomorrow that others can't. You fill in the blank, whatever it is that you think of. But that's what we're doing now. We're doing that. We're doing the work now so that we can do tomorrow what others can't. And it's not that we're doing it so that we can snicker back at them, but we want to pull as many people along on that journey. We don't want to look at it and say, look at what I can do now. Some of us have heard the quote, the best success or the best revenge is massive success. It's okay, but I don't really like that spin on it. I would rather pull people along on the journey and go with them on the climb, and just, have them there with us, have our family and friends there with us. We talked about accepting a little bit of a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. And by ignorant, I mean people that don't understand. People that don't understand this concept of what we have about residual income, about network marketing, about partnering with the best wellness company on the planet. People that don't quite understand that we have to sometimes accept that temporary loss of that social esteem, while we're getting out of our comfort zone. Once we get out of our comfort zone and we get so solid, like we get our belief built so solid, people are going to start coming back and they're going to say, wow, like you are really committed about this. Like, you have a true belief in this company. It's like, yeah, you're darn right I do. Who wouldn't want to have residual income? Who wouldn't want to bring their spouse home with them? So getting to a point where we're so solidly committed on that, that we just get fired up about it, like I am right now. Anyway, so doing more calls, more follow-up, being better organized, promoting events. Events are huge. Bring your people to events and let the events build your people. Continue to build your people, but let the events build it. They put millions and millions of dollars into these events, especially the big four events, the core four events, Isagenix University in Action. There's one coming up in September in Toronto, I believe, which is Isagenix University. Get there. Do what you can do to get there. Even prior to that, we've got Celebration in Las Vegas. Do what you can do to get there. It's so not just our picture, but help them paint their own picture. So they really talked about painting the picture, finding out your why, and finding out other people's whys and helping them get that. Changing your story. So again, this might seem a little bit sporadic here, but I was just trying to kind of bam it all together. So changing your story. So I love to talk to people and say, what if, even myself, what if I could be a paid as 4-star, or what if I could be a paid as 5-star golden people? How would that make my life feel? What if I could do that kitchen renovation? How would that make me feel? So have some goals for yourself. We talked a lot about goals. And then create a strategy around those things that we just discussed. So in part of that strategy, I'm going to continue to talk here a little bit more. We saw a video on Tony Robbins. Watch it. If you can Google it, great. It was about turning your shoulds into musts. And it was a great video. A lot of times you say, oh man, I really should reach out to that person. Just do it. Just reach out to them, because they're probably sitting there waiting for somebody to reach out. So reach out to them. I'm not going to mention names, but there's people sitting there on the edge of potentially even taking their own life. And we have this amazing gift to give to people, to surround them with a community of people, to surround them with, they can be so down in the dumps. And we have this gift, this little package that we can plop on their plate in front of them. So continue to reach out to people, because you never know how low somebody is. Talked about the ranks and what they are. Manager, 6 people getting healthy. Keep it simple. Director, 18 people getting healthy. And executive is 30 people getting healthy. We talked about that. Don't overcomplicate it. I've never been a fan of really giving away enrollments. Like, here, I've got my buddy here. You don't know him, but here, you enroll him. I've never been a fan of that. You can talk to your sponsor about how you want to build that part of your business, but keep it simple. 6, 18, and 30 people getting healthy to go through the ranks. It's awesome. So overall, what we have with Isagenix, it's so cool because we get to talk about health, and this is not a bad thing. We get to talk about how to make people money. We get to talk about how to put an extra stream of income into a family. Canada, they talk about is almost #1 in the world for type 2 diabetes, and we get to talk about health. So here's a problem, and we have a solution. So reach out to people. This is not a hard thing to do. IsaBody Challenge, 225 BV average for people signed up on that per month. So you've all got people in your teams that are ordering, 110, 125, 140. Get them on the IsaBody Challenge. Show them. We just got our $200 coupon, Jen and myself both, just last week. Got our $200 coupon. It was so cool to get that. We've got $400 now that we can spend as a family that this company has given. They keep giving back. So get them on the IsaBody Challenge, and their BV is going to be higher. It's an 80% retention after the first year. Healthy Mind and Body, 211 BV average monthly orders. Okay, so I've got a guy going through Healthy Mind and Body right now, and he's just loving it. Again, 70% higher retention for people doing this. Cycling 1 time a week, 95%. So when you have that person that I'm only cycling 1 time a week, that's like $3,000 a year. If your boss came to you and said, would you like a $3,000 per year increase? They're probably going to do a little bit of work for it. So it's okay. We're doing a little bit of work to get that $3,000 a year. Again, 95% retention rate for that. She talked about don't make consultant a business position. That really hit me huge. Make it a product user position. Who are the 2 people that want to cleanse with you? Don't make it like they're joining this huge business just because not because they hit consult. I'm not saying not to recognize them, but to make it in their mind this business position. It's just, that should be a product user position. That's how she kind of explained it. Make sure you're putting the sticky products in the order, especially if you are not getting a President's Pack. So some younger people, they may not have the funds right now, or maybe the value wasn't explained to them enough to get a President's Pack. So just put some of the sticky products in. The E-Shots, the Isadelites, the Isoline Pro, the Aegis Essentials are some of the sticky products. So add those in, the bars, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you guys get those in the orders, because it's going to increase retention big time, 15% for Isadelite retention. This business is basically just conversations and getting better at it. They talked about the numbers the numbers will work themselves out, and the events give us the training to make the conversations better. So at first it's like, man, I didn't get that one, or man, I didn't get that person, or man, that person wouldn't get back to me. Keep going to the events, keep learning, keep putting more time, and keep reading all that kind of stuff. Some of the millionaires, they gave us some of the numbers. They were between 6 and 20 conversations a day. So you can kind of gauge your business off of what they were doing. If you're saying, I'm not where I want to be, and you're having 1 conversation every 2 days, that's a good indication of where your business may be heading. So you basically up your conversations, put yourself in front of more people, get out to more events, join a running class, join a squash class, join a dog walking class, put yourself in front of people where you get to have those daily conversations. Really talked about being the light for people. And again, I mentioned it a little bit before about we want to find out what works for people, but it's our responsibility to show people who they can be, not who they currently are. So if you've got, it's like, we don't want to just, talk down to people. We want to see people and see what potential they have. That's our responsibility to bring the good out of people. So stop putting people down. She talked about the Bill Belichick story with Tom Brady, and you know, this boy with anxiety, and he was picked 199th in the draft pick. So, and here you've got Tom Brady. So, you know, who are our Tom Bradys in our lives that we're forgetting about? You know, who are the people that we're skipping past and we need to reach down and lift up and give them this gift? A huge thing that they mentioned was our 2 whys, personal and inclusive. Okay, so if I was, you know, I want to pay off my mortgage, that's not really sexy for most people. You know, join me so I can pay off my mortgage, okay? I love that, but not everybody wants to help me pay off my mortgage. So I kind of wrote down my why, and it's like I have a vision to help families, you know, spend more time together, pay off debt, and live a life without restrictions. That's my overall vision. It's inclusive, it's inviting. So think of your inclusive why. You want a personal why? You know, maybe you want to tear out your kitchen wall. That's great. You need a personal why. Maybe, and then you need an inclusive why. So think of an inclusive why when you're building your brand. And that's so important to kind of start to think about how you want to build your brand. What is your inclusive why that you want to do for people? What is it that's going to make people follow you and want to join you on this journey? We were trained on a lot of different NLP words. I love learning about NLP. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. Imagine, you know, what if, you know, people like us hate having restrictions on life. So when you're talking to people, using those NLP words, that's a big deal. Kind of the one, I guess we'll call it, we save it for like the last resort. You know, either you join me on you can keep where you're at and keep going down that path of health destruction in your life, or you can join me on this health journey. So that either or, that's kind of like the last ditch one, you know, that we can use and share with people. It's like, I want people to get healthy. So an example with that is, you know, imagine what it would be like for you to fit into that dress in time for the wedding. You know, imagine what that would feel like, and talk to them, have those conversations. You know, we're ambassadors of hope on this journey. So again, we can talk about, are you currently making the income you desire? You know, imagine what it would be like if you could make that income. What would it do for your family? Or would you be open to taking a look at, you know, what it could do for your family? Are you currently at your healthy goal weight? Imagine what it would be like to be there. So basically having more conversations on Facebook, and then enter Scott Aaron. Quickly on Facebook, we talked about 3 keys. Am I still okay, Tina, for a few minutes? Wicked. Okay. We talked about 3 keys to Facebook. Guys, this was huge. Pull up a podcast, go on Isagenix podcast. There might be one on there by Scott Aaron. If not, personalpowerpodcast.com. And you'll find one on there about Facebook and how to build on Facebook. But it's curiosity, what to post. So success, motivation, personal lifestyle, and when to post it. It's very important. It's called Facebook EdgeRank. EdgeRank is basically the free organic advertising that happens when you make a post. So if you do a post at 2 a.m. in the morning and nobody comments on it, and you're waking up at 8 going, that's weird, nobody commented or liked it or questioned me or sent me a message or whatever, it's because nobody even saw it. Facebook will literally push it to newsfeed. .400 posts that, you know, there's no way you could read all that. So they're just constantly pushing things down. So Facebook EdgeRank, as things are commented and liked, it builds them up, and Facebook will organically put them in front of your face. So Facebook is definitely still the king. Scott talked about that. Definitely still the king of social media. There's other sources out there. There's Instagram, there's Snapchat, lots of different things. LinkedIn, I'll talk about that in a second, but Facebook is still the king. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you're probably letting your ego get in the way of what to post. I've done those posts where I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? And then it gets like tons of likes and comments. So generally speaking, if you're doing things that's uncomfortable, and I don't mean like rude or things like that, but I just mean things that kind of make you feel queasy, like, yikes, I just posted a video of my before and after, or yikes, I just posted a video of me talking and I don't like my voice. Guess what? You're being real and authentic. People want to see that. So do some, look out, get the new Facebook app live, or the new Facebook app, download it, and try a Facebook Live video. It's awesome. It's fun. And people love looking at videos. People love watching your life. You got to remember who's on your Facebook. You got family, close friends, high school get in touch with old friends. But you could be that, like that video could be that one thing that sparks somebody's desire to want to change. So it's a huge, huge deal when you're posting and you're being authentic. So for success, he talked about financial or before and afters. Okay, Sunday night power post. Pretty much like right now, between 8 and 10, maybe right after we get off this call, you could look up a really cool photo of somebody, do a gratitude of somebody in your team. Right after this call, 8:45, 9 o'clock, that's a great time to post. Even better, right at 8 o'clock. It's going to get the most kind of views and likes and comments. He talked about inspirational or motivational, personal and wellness. So Sunday night shout out, he uses his own hashtags. Come up with your own hashtag. Hashtag is like a search feature on Facebook and different social media sites. Personal lifestyle, be real, be genuine, be authentic. Nobody wants somebody that's fake. They'll spot it a mile away. Nobody wants that. If you're just starting out on Facebook, just start slow and kind of build up, and build up to what you're doing. He doesn't use the word Isagenix. He uses, my superfood company, my nutritional wellness company, whatever it might be. You pick what you want to do. You're going to have your own way of building, but he does not use that. Neither do I, generally speaking. 2 other times to post. Sorry, 7 a.m. I forgot about that one. 7 a.m. Monday to Sunday. It may mean that you have to wake up a little bit earlier depending on what you're doing, or stay up later if you're a night shift worker. But that's a great time. 7 a.m. in the morning Eastern time is a great time to post. And 2 other times between 11:30 and 1, sometime in there is, lunchtime. People are scrolling through Facebook at lunch. That's another good time to post. How to build a brand that people want to follow. It's kind of like the John Maxwell 5 levels of leadership. You can look that up. And that's the cool part with this company is when you're building a brand, we get to skip past positional, because nobody follows us in here because they have to. You don't have to follow anybody. We're our own company. We're our own CEO. That's the beautiful part about being an entrepreneur. But you can look that up, John Maxwell 5 levels of leadership. And that's a really cool thing to learn how to build a brand. Be authentic, be you, have fun, and be genuine. And it works. Talking about, instead of dragging thousands, run with a few. So take 2 of your people in your team 10 feet deep. Get them to those executive ranks so that they can be so they're not leaving money on the table. Work with your people and get them there. Making your profile public. Friend people, but don't bug them. You're going to go to Facebook jail. It's happened to me, and I think I was in jail for 7 days. So they will block you, so don't be people having babies and people buying a new truck or going camping, whatever it is. Have those conversations. That's the best part about Facebook. The 3 C's that he called it: connect, converse, and close. So let's say you have that person in your team, or maybe yourself. You've done that really cool post. You got all these likes and comments. Now what do you do? It's like, I don't know what to do with all this. So after your post on Facebook, please don't be the person in the comments that says, "Is this Isagenix?" Okay, don't be that person. We've all seen it. And I normally will just delete that comment and just, professionally, I'll inbox them and tell them that I'm building a business and I don't use the name of the company that I'm doing. But what do you do with that? So I'll inbox the person and they say, what is it you're looking to achieve and maintain after you've built some rapport with the person for a little bit? Don't just jump right in. But what is it that you're looking to achieve and maintain? I really appreciate your support on that post. It means a lot. What's the best day, time, and number to reach you on? Scott talked about that. He does all his business by phone. If they're not ready to talk on the phone, he says, you know what? I do all my business on the phone. When you're serious about changing your health, please reach out. I would love to support you on your journey. And you can come up with your own lingo about how you want to do that. And then he talked about, would it be okay if I sent you a video 10 minutes prior to our call? So you have a time that's set up for a call. You send them a little video from isamovie.com or from somewhere. It could be something that's like a weight loss video or a teamisagenix.com video. You send that to them, and then you reach out to them on the phone. Keep it really simple, and then have that rapport with them, build that conversation with them. Again, if they continue to ask questions, somebody had the question, like, what do I do if they continue to want to type? Do you want to build your business? I think he had enrolled like 47 people in his first month or something ridiculously crazy like that. So I love to follow leaders and what they do. So he says, you know what, I do my business on the phone. When you're ready to reach out on the phone, let's chat. I really want to support you on this journey. And he sticks to that. For LinkedIn, oh, sorry, on the call too, you can ask them, how did you feel about that video, or how did that video make you feel? That's a really good thing. Or not like, did you like the video? That's a yes or no question. So how did that video make you feel? That's what he asked them. For LinkedIn, use it. That's what he uses. The second one, it's growing. There's 380 million people on it. It's a really big social media site, but they're only on there for a few reasons. They're on there for opportunities, or opportunities to make money. These are business professionals. So this is not the place to post your cat videos. This is not the place to post the video of that person, you know, falling down the stairs and breaking his skull open. This is not that place for that. This is a business professional site. But you can use it to search. Don't search too much, or else they'll block your searches. So on your cold chats, we'll call them, once you connect with somebody, there's a 25% chance of closing people when they connect with you, which is huge, like 25%. It's just conversations that we have to have. Talked about, I'm almost done here. Read the book, Go for No. Set a goal for how many no's you can get. I know he did that, and it was huge. No's are huge. No's build our character. Yeses build our business. No's build our character. System 3, following up. Make sure you're following up. Make sure you're keeping a list of doing this. When you don't know a person, about 2 out of 5 people will follow up with you. Okay, so, but 2 out of 5 people will show up, but just continue to follow up with people. This was huge for me. Over 65% of sales, they're made after the first follow-up, and yet over 60% of salespeople get up the follow-up times. And they eventually joined his business. So just remember that, guys. It's a really big deal. 21 times for Susan Sly to join, which was, again, a huge eye-opener for people. You know, just because somebody, you don't know what happens if they happen to miss the phone call. Okay, maybe they're at, something came up. So just, again, reach out. Bottom line, if you want someone to join, follow up. Not going to go over handling objections too much. They did talk about it. There's great podcasts on handling objections with Isagenix. The main thing is ABCs: affirm, breathe, and continue on with the conversation. Ask more questions. Okay, affirm, hey, I know how you feel. I felt that way too. And then breathe. It sets you back. It's like resets the neurons. And then continue on. Okay, don't let an objection get in the way of helping somebody get started on their fitness journey. Or their health journey. They just want to know more information. It's not a bad thing, guys. Okay, so, you know, use the feel, felt, found method. I know how you feel. Like, I totally get the price thing. I felt that exact same way. But what I found was when I looked at the cost, what I was currently spending, and please use them. And please remember too, guys, that the leaders that are out there, they're very underutilized. I've had a few meals with some elite leaders, and they keep telling me, they're like, man, I wish more people would reach out to us. You know, we can get access to their phone numbers and stuff like that. So please, guys, use our leaders out there. That's what they're there for. They want to know, they've got that background. They want to help out. They want to help you guys out. Crossline, upline, it doesn't matter what. This is a one-team mentality, so please reach out. The fastest growing businesses use three-way calls. It's just a fact. They talked about always go through ACMDE. If you don't know what ACMDE is, please look it up. Just type in Isagenix ACMDE on Google. You'll find it. And that basically is the money that you can make, the bonuses that you can make. Don't leave that out of the picture, because you never want someone to come back and say, man, like, you didn't tell me that I could make $5,000 in my first 6 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever. Don't let that happen to you. It's happened to me once about 3 years ago, and I felt like that big. It's not cool. So just make sure we're telling people to say, I'm obligated to at least show you this. I'm obligated to at least show you the business bonuses with this company. And I get it if you're not there yet, but just let me show you. Last section here, guys, just quickly, we talked about welcome calls, do them, walk through the site when people get started, ice the body, get them started, healthy mind and body, product overview with a Sharpie, okay, go through the products, give everybody a wow, don't let any always do your three-way calls and end off with talking about celebration or New Year's kickoff or the core 4 events. Recognition, got to do it. You got to do recognition. Handwritten notes are big. Do them for body transformations, first enrollments, first cycles and ranks, different milestones. Run with the runners. Focus on your IPAs, your income producing activities. Don't do the stuff that's not going to get you to your goal, please. If you're one thing that was huge to me, because I've loved attending events. There's been one about 3 years ago I couldn't go to, one of the core 4. If you don't go to celebration and the core, something like celebration, New Year's kickoff, those different events, you're going to be setting your business back by 6 to 12 months. So if you're not attending the events, that's what's going to happen to your business. There's going to be different reasons, like, you know, we get that, but that's kind of the fact that she brought up. Thing for me was they talked about picking your goal and picking your goal with your family and what are you going to do to get there to your goal. You know, we talk about different goals. We have a kitchen wall here that we want to rip out once we hit a certain rank. So that's important to us. That's one of our personal whys. So write that out. Last section here, guys, 6 more points. A call to action really this week is there's some fun stuff coming out this week. Rally your team up. Inbox them. There's a new shake coming out, which is awesome. It's a huge deal, guys. If you're going for a rank advancement, rally your team up. Add some different BV orders to your order baskets. Get the new shake. Look for that coming. Look for incentives in different teams with Team Success, other teams out there. Look for different incentives. When you hit your 5, 10, 20, 40 cycle match, there's things happening out there. So please pay attention to the Facebook groups because there's some really cool things happening. There's a Team Success call tomorrow night with Dr. Paul Beyondich on protein and why it's so awesome. Videos, call to action, guys. Try a live Facebook video. They're really fun. Right after this call, hop on, whatever, do some push-ups. I don't know. Just have fun with it. And before and afters, and schedule your in-homes this week. You know, schedule one for Wednesday night or Thursday night or a Zoom in-home or something like that. So Tina, on that note, I'm sorry, but I tried to like condense this sucker, 9 hours of talking into 20 minutes.
I know.
Anyway, back to you, girl.
Let's give it up to Trevor, you guys. Awesome. Great information. So many amazing tools. Lots there. Yeah, lots there. So thank you for all of that. Okay, guys, you guys have any nuggets? I know he went through a lot of really great stuff, and I know I'll be listening to the recording again to get some notes down on that. Anything that jumped out at you with anything that Trevor said?
Trevor, what is Facebook jail?
So Facebook jail is like if you're sending too many friend requests out, they will send you a warning because people can say, I don't know this person. They can click spam and all this kind of stuff. And they will block you from sending friend requests for 7 days or worse. They can shut down your account.
They can yeah, I've had my account closed right down.
Technically you're not really supposed to be building a business on your personal wall. That's why it's so important. Again, not to say, hey, I have a sale. I mean, we all see those people that build network marketing businesses all over their personal wall, but that's what a business page is for. So if you're spamming people, they don't want spamming people. That's why we talk about building those relationships.
Yeah. Awesome.
And if you're sending out too many friend requests and you're like, oh, maybe I've got like 500 out there, you can go into your sent requests and you can cancel some that, you know, people aren't accepting it. Just cancel, and start fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Anything else? Anyone else have one quick one before we go back to Dane here? Okay. I posted the Scott Aaron podcast in the Facebook Start Canada group, you guys. So the link for the call is in there. I will post that Tony Robbins video in there as well. And then I think it's important, the 8 steps. If you guys have not reviewed the 8 steps, and because here's the thing, how many of you sign people up and then they don't stay? They don't keep going. If we do not 8-step people properly and plug them in and let them know it's available for them on a support perspective, they're not going to stick around, okay? We want to really plug people in effectively from the get-go so that they know what's available to them as far as rebates go, as far as support, calls, what Facebook groups they can get help from, You know, they've got emails on people because they've been given a welcome email. They've got, oh, Michelle, you're sharing your screen, hun. Michelle, you're screen sharing. Can you just cancel that? Thanks. So anyway, that's important. I'm going to throw that in there too. Okay, Dane, I'm going to pass it back to you, my friend, just to wrap us up with talking about authenticity, and then we're going to wrap this call up. You guys, 5 more minutes. Hang in there. Thank you.
All right, Trevor, I have developed carpal tunnel just thinking about all those notes you had to write. Oh, okay, that was a lot of information, guys, but mine is going to be nice and short and quick. Okay, so my topic I'm talking about is authenticity. So I just want you guys to think about this. It's going to be addressed to everyone. So I'm going to read something, and I want you to, raise your hand if it sounds a little bit familiar to you. Maybe you've seen it somewhere before. Hey, insert your name here. How are you? I'm messaging you because you might be able to help me. I am currently working on a project to help people improve their health and other goals like weight loss, muscle gain, or energy. I thought of you because edify, nice thing, compliment. So has anyone ever heard something like that before? Maybe had a message sent to them, or maybe even sent a message out like that before? So you guys kind of see where I'm going with this. So authenticity is being yourself. Many people started using this type of message, people just starting out their business. And, to be honest, so did I. I used a message just like that. And to be quite honest, I felt like one of those sleazy used car salesmen, or someone coming into the big meeting to just throw a pitch out there to see if anyone grabs it. And it didn't really make me feel good. As soon as I hit the enter on my keyboard, just a knot came up in my stomach saying, oh God, why did I send that message? So when I was under the mentorship of Mike Delaire, we got to talk, and I told him how I felt uncomfortable sending those kind of messages. And he said, well, why are you doing it? Why don't you just be yourself? If it doesn't feel right to you, then why are you even doing it? And, that really got me thinking, why am I changing myself just, to make something seem more fancy, or just to try and push these products onto people? That's not what it's all about. One thing that's really hard for people to do is, it's duplicate your individuality. And that's where we differ in all of our approaches to the business. We have 188 millionaires in Isagenix now, and I'm sure that each one of them, while they each followed the known systems that we have, they each probably did it just a little bit differently. I'm sure, Susan Sly has a momentum is a completely other thing. So I consider myself a rather funny, sarcastic guy. I would think to compare myself to Chandler Bing from Friends, and I'm sure Vanessa, yeah, she's saying yes. And I have that show in my personal life, and I try to be that way in my business. I try to be fun and not super serious. And we have to have fun because that's what we're here for. We're here to improve people's lives and bring happiness to people. So, one big thing that I've noticed in a lot of people is that they act one way in person and are completely different online. So, and that's where I think people struggle a lot. You have how you are in person, fun, talkative, swear like a sailor, all that stuff. But then you go online and, conscious, motivational speaker with beacons of positivity coming everywhere. And, if that's not how you are in real life, then people are going to see right through it. And, you can tell if you just scroll a little bit down in that person's history that this just came out of nowhere, and then you get my picture. So, so just an example. So if you go to the bar with your friends, us in our start bracket, we still like to go to the bars. So you have some beers and maybe you get a little bit tipsy. Don't go back home on Facebook and then go post about, how eating healthy grains is important and getting the best quality of protein is the absolute best thing you can do for yourself when you just got home from the bar. So be real. That's the one thing that I really want to get across is be a real person. Say on that post, wow, you know, I had a few too many beers last night, but you know what? It's time to work off all that fun. It's time to go hit the gym. You know, a post like that, it shows that, you know, you still have fun, you're still a person, but you are still health conscious. And this Isagenix business and this Isagenix lifestyle is a lifestyle. You know, we have to balance the fun and the treats that we give ourselves in life with proper eating and all that fun stuff. So I really want to give a good example, and a great example of this would be Peter Kelly. And for those that ever watch her videos, if you haven't seen a video of hers, go to one where, you know, she's very passionate. And if you ever see her when she's fired up, she starts dropping F-bombs and S-bombs left and right. And you can really tell that that's who she is. You know, when you watch her videos like that, you can tell she's an extremely passionate person. You know, she really tries to get her point across. And even if you go back in some of her older videos, she's exactly the same way. It's that consistent, just that consistent building of, you know, your personality and you're being a real person. So guys, I know we're running really late, and so I just want to wrap this up in a nice little bow with 3 bullet points. So number 1, just be yourself in your business. You know, you don't have to be a completely different person to run your Isagenix business. You know, if you're a fun person, be fun. If you're super strict and organized and OCD, you know, sometimes that's what you got to be. But, you know, you got to recognize that not everyone is going to be the same way. Number 2, be yourself offline as the same way you are online. People will see if you are incongruent. They will know if you go out and you eat 10 cakes and then you come home and, you know, you post about how being healthy is amazing. They'll know that. And then the last part is be continue for
Oh, no, I'm back. Sorry. I got cut out on your last point there, Dane. Awesome. Okay, what was your last point again? Say it for me because I missed you.
Oh, my last point was just to be real. Be a real person.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. You guys give it up for Dane. Super great shares and so effective. Thank you so much. Such important information. And, you know, I have a few people that I can think of where I know there's shit going on behind the scenes, excuse my language. I know there is, but when you look at their Facebook profile, they're not showing that up. And it's not like you have to go be all negative and be woe is me, like Dane says. Just, you can be real and you can just say, you know what, today wasn't awesome, but tomorrow's going to be, you know, a super day or whatever. And I think it's so important to just be real. And I went to the Have It All Women event, the last one that Susan did. And at an event like that, there's different exercises that happen and take place. And I was in my role, you know, you guys all know me, you know what I'm like. I love coaching and supporting people. I love, you know, being there and helping people through some breakthroughs. And so that's kind of what I was doing all week. And I was facilitating other people to go through some of their breakthroughs. Well, we had this one exercise where we got these strips of paper, and it was a situation that we had to talk how we would deal with the situation. And I got a strip that talked about my father passing away, and I was the oldest of all the kids, and I had to take care of all the, you know, the financial situation, everything like that. Well, the reality was that my dad had just passed away. So it couldn't have been any more universally, you know, God basically made that show up for me, and I totally broke down. I started hyperventilating. I totally broke down. But you know what happened? I worked through it. I had some people helping me through that, but it was part of my letting go and surrendering. But what happened was that we had these jars, and in the jars we had pieces of paper, and people were writing. Hopefully you guys can still hear me because my internet is dying on me here. People, we were to write gratitudes for people, and everyone had a jar, and we were to go around and put a gratitude. This is what I love about you, or thank you for this, to each of the people that were there. So when I got my jar and I came home, someone had written on one of the pieces of paper, Tina, thank you so much. Although it wasn't nice to see you break down, it was nice to know you're real, because you always seem so perfect. And you never seem to have anything going wrong, and you're always there when people need you, and you're always such a great coach and support. But it made me feel even more connected with you because you too are real and you are human. And I was like, oh my goodness, I never thought about that because I've always had this wall up. I haven't let people see the real me, like Dane talks about. And so it's really, really so important. So thank you for those shares. And you guys, what amazing information. Hey, Sue. Amazing information we had tonight. Hey, darling. So I just want to finish up with a couple of things. You guys, we are in summer, and this is when it is so easy, and you may have already noticed this, it's so easy to fall into the routine of taking our foot off the gas, right? It's like it's summer, there's holidays, people are traveling, no one's around, people aren't around as much and that kind of thing. But the reality is that even if people aren't necessarily, getting started at this point in time, and that's not to say that they won't, because people will get started when they need to get started, but they can't if we're not talking to them. So if we know that when we have conversations with people, that it takes anywhere from like 3 to 7 or maybe 3 to 10 conversations with someone before they make a decision. If we are stopping our follow-up after the second conversation, we're not giving them that opportunity to say yes or say no. So what about if we continued having conversations through the summer? So that in the fall, when they're feeling like poo because they've been whooping it up on the weekends and whatever, they're ready to go. They're going to come to you because you're the one who's been talking to them. You're the one who stayed consistent checking in with them. Doesn't that make sense, you guys? Yeah. So some numbers that I want to share with you. So it's like anywhere from 3 to 7 exposures. And we heard on the weekend that for Susan Sly was 21 phone calls before she said yes. Do you think that was a good follow-up, that they followed up with her? Yeah, obviously. And if it's for every 10 people we share information with to sign up, ask yourself, how many people am I talking to? Because if, like Trevor says, you're talking to like one every couple of days and it takes 10 people before you have 1 or 2 say yes, you're going to sign up like 5 people a year. That is not going to help you build a residual income to help create some freedoms for your family. That will not allow you to eat Isagenix for free if that's your goal. All right? And over 65% of all sales are made after the 4th follow-up. So if we're stopping at 1 or 2, we're missing the boat. And over 60% of all people fail to follow up more than 3 times. So if any of that resonates with you, this is a week where, Susan has kind of given us the challenge, and, you're all here for a reason. Ask yourself, where can I step up? Because who's suffering as a result of me not stepping up and stepping into my power and talking to as many people as I possibly can? I know for me, it's my sons, it's myself, it's the people around me. Whatever you do, your teammates are going to do 50% of what you're doing. So if we're doing squat because we're backing off in the summer and we have no team left at the end of the summer, we have no one to be upset with except for ourselves. But if we're giving 110, 120, 130% right now, and our teammates are giving 50 and 60 and the train keeps moving, it's going to be sweet. It's going to be super sweet. So I hope that inspires you a little bit. It's not meant to be a kick in the butt, but it's just meant to be like when you come out of an event like that, that's why we do these events. That's why we keep getting together on this. This is an event. These things are so important for us to do. And I am so super grateful that you guys have come on the call here tonight. I love that you guys keep continuing to come out and keep sharing it. I'm going to do a better job at putting the event out there so that you guys can add people to it and invite people. And let's really start filling up these lines. All right? Because do you think that you've gotten some value out of the call tonight? Awesome. Awesome. Excellent. Well, thank you again, you guys. Big love to Trevor and to Dane for sharing your information with us tonight. And big love to all of you for being here. And next week we have Christy Shaver. Yeah, kiss the screen. Next week we have Christy Shaver. But before we go, I just want to do one quick screenshot. So if you guys that are hidden want to open your video up, we're going to do a quick screenshot here.
We love you, Tina.
Oh, I love you guys too. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys rock. Okay, let me do another one just for good luck. Oh, shoot. Here we go. 1, 2. Jason. Okay, I love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you for staying so late. All right, the recording will be posted tomorrow morning. Bye.